Everybody, it's almost Christmas time, which means it is only right that I tell y'all the story of how my 8th grade Christmas led to me running away from home forever and also finding out that my mom was the one beating her boyfriend and wearing the pants in the relationship. A little bit of a wild intro, I know, but trust me, we are just getting started. In order to understand this story fully, we need to go all the way back to my 7th grade year of middle school. As many of y'all know, both of my parents are divorced, but for this specific story, we will just be focusing on my mom's side of the family. At my mom's house during 7th grade, there were 5 people living in my house. My mom, my stepdad, my brother, and my sister plus me. Midway through 7th grade, probably about November, stepdad starts taking woman pills and turns into stepmom. No big deal. My parents had been married for about fucking 8-9 years, but now she's a tranny, you know what I'm saying? And so they tried to make the marriage work. After about 4 to 6 months, they end up getting a big old fat divorce, right? But little did they know, this divorce was going to be the first domino pushed over in a chain reaction of events leading to Christmas. And this was because not a single person moved out of my house. People only started moving into my house because my mom instantly got a rebound. Boyfriend moved up into our house basically instantly, not even a week, same day delivery type of thing, moved up into my house. My transgender ex-stepdad, half-sister's real dad, mom's ex-husband but current roommate also instantly got a rebound, and the chick moved into our house as well, bringing a kid. So now there's 9 people in my house because my brother also has a friend who is living with us at a time. So now we have just about 9 to 10 people on average in our house 24/7. Out of those 9 people, 4 of them are adults. Out of those 4 adults, 0 of them have a job. We are eating off of food stamps and everybody is in there just arguing. It's just toxic as hell because it's 2 divorced people with their new couple in the same house living together. Like it's not a good situation, you know what I'm saying? And it stayed like this for probably a good 6 to 8 months until just about my 8th grade year was starting. Once my 8th grade year started, my transgender ex-stepdad, half-sister's real dad moved out of the house into their own apartment, right? And so now it was just me, my mom, mom's boyfriend, half-sister, and my older brother in this house. Which this wouldn't be a problem, but my mom's new boyfriend was clinically insane. I am fairly sure this dude spent more time in mental hospitals than Taylor Swift has spent on her private jets, which is just astounding in itself. But this dude was manic, manipulative, and so immature. Like my sister, my little sister, she was 7 years old. He was pushing 47 years old, beefing with my little sister. He would grab remotes and all sorts of stuff from around the house, plant it in my sister's room just to discover it and yell at her and tell my mom so she'd get in trouble, even though he was planting it in a little girl's room. Just didn't add up. But there I could go on and on about the things this dude did, but you get the picture. It was not good. He always needed full attention on him, which is why once it started rolling around more to Christmas time, it did not get pretty. And this was because my mom's new boyfriend was an ex-Jehovah's Witness. If you know anything about Jehovah's Witnesses, you know it's crazy, but you have to do something insane to get kicked out of the Jehovah's Witness groups. My mom's new boyfriend got excommunicado, kicked out, cut off, all ties lost from that group. I can't even remember what he did because he wouldn't tell us what he did, but he got kicked out of an entire religion. And so he was getting upset once it got closer to Christmas time. And it's not like we were having some type of big old Christmas, you know what I'm saying? I was broke as hell. We had 10 people in our house eating off of food stamps in the food bank. It's not like Christmas was no big deal, but apparently it was still too big for him. And so as it kept getting closer to Christmas, my mom and her boyfriend were fighting more and more and more, and it would involve my little sister as well. So I would have to step in, get my little sister away from it, and mediate the fights. It was a pretty normal thing. But the fights started getting longer and longer and nastier as it got closer to Christmas. They were just fighting for more than half of the day, most days, just screaming at each other, running around the house. And so eventually it hits Christmas. And so I'm wondering how the day's obviously going to be based off of how December has gone so far. And as it hits Christmas, I go outside, I see all my family interacting. The vibes are jolly, good. Everything in the air seems fine. I'm like, this is a little off. Like, this is not normal for how our house has been. Then we go to open our presents, right? What I got for Christmas this year was 5 Sharpies, 4 pairs of scissors, and one of those like candy canes with M&Ms in them, right? Like I said, we were broke as hell. We were not having no big ass Christmas. But after we open up those presents, my mom's boyfriend absolutely loses it for whatever reason, because me, my brother, and my sister, we all got the same shit. We just got Sharpies and scissors and also some fucking M&Ms and a candy cane, right? And so my mom's boyfriend starts getting extremely upset. My older brother went straight back to his room, hopped on Fortnite, started getting baked, doing his usual thing, never leaving his room. My little sister, she's also once again kind of in the crossfire of the fight because my mom's boyfriend is just absolutely insane. So I get my little sister to go inside of her room. I end up having to lock the door. I put the office on, put it on full blast. I'm like, do not open this door until I come back and unlock the door for you and knock on it. She's like, okay, because it was a pretty normal thing. I had to do it pretty frequently for her. So I go outside. I start trying to deal with the fight. Literally, I'm mediating out on the porch in the desolate cold. They're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because the thing was they just gotten promise rings for each other, like marriage rings. I don't know. I don't really care either. But they got some type of ring for each other. They were in some type of commitment and they were fighting over it. Turns out my mom grabbed her ring, threw it in the toilet and flushed it down. they're going back and forth, nasty old fight. They're drinking more, they're smoking more, they're both fucked up and yelling at each other. And so I'm trying to mediate this sober 8th grade me. I was like 13 at the time. I had no idea what I was doing. And so we're out on the porch, it's cold, they're going in and out, fighting. Finally, I start teaching my mom's boyfriend how to play Minecraft. I'm like, look, you like building shit, let's just build some shit on Minecraft. I go to start building with him, he starts talking shit on my mom. I'm like, look bro, I am not gonna sit here and listen to you dog on my mom. If you got a problem, let's figure it out straight up, or we can just play this game. He wanted to figure it out, I guess, because he got up, started yelling at my mom once again. So things are going back and forth, back and forth. I'm just sitting there like, am I teaching this man Minecraft? Am I not? Like, I didn't know what was going on. I just got both controllers in my hand, and I'm just sitting here because I'm trying to find any way to get this fight to cool down. Because at this point, they've been screaming at each other for well over 3.5 hours straight. And since my mom's boyfriend was into construction, I figured Minecraft might be a way to cool his ass down, get him to settle down, but it just did not work. So I'm sitting there spacing out. I'm like, how can I stop this fight and be able to just go to bed and know everything is fine? So I'm sitting there thinking about that. That's when suddenly I hear screaming coming from my mom's room. Not yelling screaming, but pain screaming. So I jump up, I'm like, oh hell no, I think he's putting the hands on my mom. So I run up in, I literally kick in my mom's door, jump up in there. I'm thinking my mom's getting beat, so I'm ready to throw some fucking hands. Turns out my mom was the one beating on the boyfriend. He said some shit, my mom gave him a bop bop bop, left right combo, fucking bit a chunk out of his shoulder. Dude is gushing blood down his back, he has teeth marks all over him. My mom fucking just gotten on him like a fucking rabbit dog. Started biting the dog out of him. So I turn the corner, I round it, and I'm trying to assess the situation now because I have adrenaline flowing through my veins. I'm ready to beat up this dude, but now I'm seeing that he's getting beat on, and it's my mom wearing the pants in the relationship, smacking his ass around. So I'm like, fuck going on right here? Right? I'm mad confused. So I see them like, I just raised my voice. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You guys need to separate. No, get out on the porch. I'm yelling at them. I'm literally parenting the fuck out of them. And I absolutely despised my mom's boyfriend. I probably hate him more than most people on this planet. Like a lot of things that he did to my mom mentally, I just hate them. I could go on and on about why I hate them, but at the end of the day, nobody fucking cares, right? And so I'm out on the porch. Once again, they're smoking cigarettes. I'm trying to mediate this fight. And eventually they go back inside. They start arguing again. And then that's when my mom's boyfriend just goes taking off, runs down the street. He had no socks on, no shoes on, no shirt on. All he has on is cardigan jorts, or fucking whatever the material is. I'll put a picture on the screen, but he just has jorts on, bleeding down his back and from his head because when he got bit, he fell into the bathtub and smacked his head too. So he's bleeding all up and down his body. Goes to walk down the street, right? It's desolate, freezing cold, -degree winter. I live in North Idaho. There's over 3.5 feet of snow, and he's walking barefoot in this, bleeding. Man just is insane, and he looks insane as he's walking down. So he leaves the house. Part of me is just like, hell yeah, I don't want nothing to do with him. Hopefully he doesn't come back because he said he wasn't going to go back. But then my mom looks all sad. So I go up to my mom like, look, do you love him? Is there anything? I'm talking to my mom. She is literally just acting like a kid. Like, I don't know. She's not even looking at me, just giving me half-ass responses. And so I'm like, do you want me to go get this guy? Do you want me to go get him? And she just wasn't saying anything, wasn't looking at me. But now I'm assessing the fact in my head that if a manically insane person is walking down the roads in -degree weather with no shoes, no socks, no shirt, no nothing besides just shorts and blood, cops are going to see him. They're going to question him, try to take him to the hospital, which means my mom would most likely get charged with assault, a lot of things. Nothing was going to go good if he ended up keeping to walk. So I ended up having to sprint down that road, hawk down my mom's boyfriend. It's freezing cold. It's like damn near at least 1 a.m. at this point. We're walking down the road. I catch up to him like, look, you got to come back home. I talked to him for like 20 minutes walking around. I finally get him to turn around, come back home. After another 30 minutes of mediating, they finally patch things up. My sister's door is still locked. I can hear the office playing. I go over there to knock on the door. That's when I put my hand down. I am so fucking sick of having to deal with just my parents fighting, mediating, all this stuff. Like, I was 13 years old at the time. I didn't want to deal with all this shit. But the thing was, and why I was so pissed at my mom's boyfriend, is my parents were divorced. My dad's house, I fucking despised going there. And you'll find out more about this in my next video. But I loved being at my mom's house until that boyfriend came there. And now I didn't even have an option to stay at my mom's house. So I'm like, fuck this. I am out this bitch. I ended up grabbing this bike from the garage. It had one tire that was deflated in the front and just a rim on the back, not a second tire. I ended up packing up a bag, hopping on that bike, and just riding out into the sunset. Because at this point, I'm done with this, you know what I'm saying? I finally patched up their fight after at least 7 hours. Nothing is going good. All of them are still going to be upset at me the next day. I know they're going to continue to fight, and it's supposed to be Christmas, a fun day, right? So I'm like, fuck this, I am out of here. I hop on my bike, just start aimlessly pedaling away from the house, right? Because I don't know where to go. I'm just pedaling. Eventually, I pedal for like 2-3 miles. It's starting to get to like 2:30 in the morning or so, and I don't know where to go. I was going to go to my friend's house, but I'm like, I don't really want no one to take me in. It's Christmas. I don't want to have anyone. I don't want to ruin anyone's Christmas with my antics and call him up. But eventually, I'm forced to call up my dad. So I ended up having to go to my dad's and live with him permanently for the next 4 years until I got kicked out, which y'all will hear all about that in the next story. And not even a month after I moved in with my dad, my mom and her boyfriend upped and left the state. They told me and my siblings they were going to Portland, Oregon. They did not go to Portland, Oregon. I can't even remember where they went. They were moving from town to town so fast that you couldn't even keep track of it. Find out the reason that they were doing this was because everywhere they went, they wreaked so much havoc and were so toxic and terrible for each other that no matter where they went, they attracted the police to them, got police calls on them, were in and out of jail together, and then it got so bad that no matter what state they were in, the police ended up having to get in contact with the state's government to get statewide restraining orders on them. Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, maybe more, but those are the three I know, have restraining orders on them to the point that they can't be in the same state together. If they are, they will both get arrested, or one of them will get arrested. I'm not entirely sure how the whole thing works, but even if they were at the tip of Idaho and the base of Idaho, they can't be in that same state, no matter, like, it's insane. That's how bad they were together. And so, after probably about 2 years of running around, the states split them up. They have to leave, or they will both go to jail for X amount of time. My mom ends up coming back into town, moving in with my transgender ex-stepdad, half-sister's real dad, mom's ex-husband, but now current roommate. And I'm sorry if this is confusing. Everybody gets confused. Try having to talk to school and family members and friends about this as your family. You know what I'm saying? You probably don't, because this shit is way too confusing. I probably have the most confusing family on the face of the earth. Shit does not add up anyway, but this is besides the point. The point is, I might need to become a rapper, because I have heard unbelievable amounts of songs talk about some, you ain't never had no cold Christmas. I had the fucking coldest Christmas. I don't want to hear that shit. But anyway, I really hope y'all enjoyed the fucking Christmas video. You know what I'm saying? Hope y'all have an amazing, jolly, merry motherfucking Christmas. And next story dropping will be about how I got kicked out of my dad's house. Hopefully this will be coming out fairly soon, but I mean, honestly, this video is low-key just fucking easing y'all into that video. It kind of builds off each other. This is good information to have for the next story, but I got lots of stuff coming to y'all. Make sure to like, subscribe, do whatever the hell y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying? Feel up the video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Hope y'all have a beautiful, amazing day, night, year, Christmas, whatever you want to call it, and I'll see y'all in the next one.